in play. That's a fair ball to Jacob. What a play from Jacob! And that is destroyed! Tie game! That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil.
Justice already took advantage of that. What a play over at third.
He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's gonna be out. Jordan Rice heads out. Trey Clifton right.
Get out, ball later!
And he might have just missed it. Got it wrong from Jordan Rice. And that's a shot. That's a what a play.
In play, that's a fair ball to Jacob. What a play from Jacob! And that is destroyed! Tie game! That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes the great play from Peter McNeil.
To that. What a play over at third.
That's in play, and he might have just missed it. Caught it wrong from Jordan Rice.
Cross, get out, ball later!
And that ball is out of here. Walk-off home run. Oh, top for the out as Bears coming home. And he hits it. And that's a shot. Zach Conway. He's running third. He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's gonna be out. Flips it over to first. I don't know if I like it.
Flips to first. Oh, and moonshot. Oh, he rolled it! Flared up. What a play for Peter McNeil!
We are live for AWA regular season wiffle ball on a rare Thursday evening here in Edmonds, Washington. We have a regular season matchup between the Metropolitan Mojo and the Eastern Enforcers. Gonna be a good one tonight. Eastern Enforcers sitting at 3-6 and the Mojo sitting at 5-4. Gonna be an interesting matchup between these two teams. I'm Mark Campanero, joined alongside Alex Harden. And Alex, I'm looking forward to this matchup tonight.
It's going to be a good one for sure. We got some new faces on the Mojo tonight, some fresh call-ups due to player availability, so it should be an interesting matchup. Can't wait to see what these guys how they start their AWA careers.
Absolutely, yeah. A couple of, as Alex mentioned, a couple of AWA debuts for the Mojo. We have Alex Hatch as well as Jason Shavenko starting for the Mojo. Mojo only going to have 3 men tonight. Mojo only had 3 men in their last series, but they played well in their last series with only 3 men. Looking at the starting lineups for the Metropolitan Mojo, we're going to have Dominic DeMiro hitting first. Alex Hatch will hit second. Tyler Clout, unfortunately, not able to make the games tonight, and Jason Shavenko will round out the squad hitting third. That is your Mojo lineup for tonight. Looking at the Eastern Enforcers, Jake Oliver will lead it off for the Enforcers. Drew Williams not able to be here in the lineup tonight. Brock Blayhouse will hit second. Chase Winkler third, and Josh Gradwall rounds out the Enforcer squad hitting fourth. Those are your starting lineups tonight for Mojo Enforcers. And we have an interview down on the field. Molly Foley is joined by Enforcers player Josh Gradwall.
Hey, it's Molly Foley from the sideline with Josh Gradwall of the Enforcers. We are experiencing a beautiful night tonight for some people, and a bit of an interesting matchup with the Mojo fresh off a sweep, and then your Enforcers are fresh off a sweep as well.
Yep.
What are going to be some of the keys to success in this matchup tonight?
So, yeah, we're getting a little lucky here. They're running with 1 guy on their original team, and then they're running with 3 total, 2 new guys, so hoping that kind of pays off for us a little bit. However, last series we did get the bats going, and I think that was finally the difference for us. Our pitching's been stellar all year. I know they're going to have a stud on the mound, so it's going to be tough, but I think we get it done today.
I know your pitching has been hot so far this season. Will we see you on the mound tonight?
Absolutely. I will be heading game 1. I think we're going for a different strat today, so I'm not going to give anything away, but stay tuned and hopefully it pays out.
I also have to ask, I believe there's a stat out there that you've had is 7 fouled home runs. Is tonight the night when we're finally going to see that fair?
Yeah, I hope it's only 7. If it's more than that, I gotta see the hitting coach. But yeah, it's 1 air's light, warning track power, so it's really helping me today. So yeah, today I take one over the left field wall.
All right, Josh, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Molly.
Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Molly. And you just heard from Enforcers player Josh Gradwall. And that's a crazy stat, Alex. I mean, 7 foul ball home runs. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just it's just bad luck. You know, sometimes when you really hit these wiffle balls hard, they just fly, and you can pull them pretty far. I know I've been a victim of that a few times this year. I think we all have, but 7 is pretty unlucky, especially without getting 1 to go over.
It's incredibly frustrating when you hit a foul ball home run, especially 7. And Josh Gradwall doesn't have any home runs on the year tonight, so hopefully you can straighten one out and get one over the fence.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling it. I think we'll see one from him tonight.
Yeah, this Mojo team, they're sitting at 5-4, and you know, again, we mentioned that two of their 3 players are on their debuts tonight. Dominic DeMiro will be on the mound for the Mojo in game number 1, and DeMiro has been incredible this season pitching for the Mojo. Pulling up his stats this season on the mound, DeMiro has a 2.47 ERA with 23 strikeouts. He's definitely going to be spearheading this Mojo roster tonight against the Enforcers. But on the other side of the ball, you have the Enforcers sitting at 3-6, who is a pretty big shock this season. I mean, the Enforcers just falling short last year to the Southern Stingers in the 2022 AWA World Series. But, you know, they started off the season 0-6, were able to sweep in their last series, now sitting at 3-6. Do you think they're going to have an opportunity tonight with the Mojo only having 3 guys to possibly bring their record to 500?
No, I think they will. Their first couple series when they got swept, they weren't really having much success hitting the ball. Pretty much no runs. Then, you know, we saw them in the last series. Their offense just exploded, and I think they're going to keep that streak alive. They got a lefty on the mound tonight, so their lineup favors them with the 4 right-handed hitters once Brock gets here. So I think they'll see continued success, but I think the problem is going to come containing this Mojo lineup. We were watching them in batting practice. These new guys. They look to be good hitters. They look like they know what they're doing at the plate. They have a good swing. They got a lot of power, and we know Dominic can hit the ball well.
Definitely, yeah.
So I think we're gonna have some fireworks today.
I agree. Yeah, these new guys for the Mojo definitely appear to have absolutely been playing baseball in the past. You know, again, always making that baseball, the wiffle ball, you know, switch is never the easiest for some guys at least. So we'll see how these two can fare tonight. Jason Shavenko and Alex Hatch, how well they hit tonight for the Mojo and their fielding, and we'll have to see which one of them is going to end up pitching for one game in this series, because DeMiro will only have 2 games of eligibility, so it'll either be Shavenko or Hatch pitching in that 3rd and final game for the Mojo tonight. And we're about to have first pitch underway. DeMiro on the mound, and Jake Oliver will lead it off for the Enforcers.
Hey, we're working on a strict pitch clock here.
You a date or something? Jake Oliver to the mound for the Enforcers.
Yeah.
DeMiro, first pitch from him. It's a ball inside, 1-0 to Jake Oliver. And Dominic DeMiro, something that he does really well is he's very good at changing his timing on his windup. And the thing is, when you're a hitter, is hitting is timing. So if you're able to disrupt the hitter's timing as a pitcher, that's a major win. And one of the reasons why DeMiro has been so effective this year in the league. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count now to Oliver. That is ripped high and deep. It's over the branch, so it's a fair ball. Shavenko's underneath it, and he makes the grab for out number 1. Great job from Shavenko. First ball hit to him in the AWA. He's able to make the grab for out number 1. Rookie faring well for the Mojo so far. Chase Winkler will step in now for the Enforcers. Winkler had a couple of tough series for the Enforcers, but last series hit very well. Had 2 home runs, many RBIs for the Enforcers in the last series, and so Chase is staying hot. We'll see if he can stay hot here for the Enforcers against the Mojo.
Yeah, I think him and all the other players in the Enforcers lineups really they really came alive the last series. They did not want to dig themselves in any bigger hole than they already were.
2 balls, 1 strike is the count.
You know, Chase has a lot of power at the plate. It was only a matter of time before he knocked a couple out.
I was a really big fan of his last couple of home runs, because Winkler hit them both to right field, opposite field. And I love opposite field home runs. It just means Chase is really going with the ball as it's pitched to him and hitting well, hitting it to all fields.
Got to have a lot of power to push it the opposite way.
Full count now to Winkler. That hits the zone. Strike 3, Dominic DeMiro getting his first strikeout here in game number 1. 2 away for Josh Gradwall, who will be stepping in. Enforcers only with 3 men currently, waiting for Brock Blayhouse to come to the game tonight. So Josh Gradwall will hit 3rd for Brock Blayhouse. Gradwall again having 7 foul ball home runs this season. That's an unfortunate stat. We'll see if he can straighten one out here tonight. Is swing and a miss. The first pitch, 0-1 here to Josh Gradwall. Pitch high from DeMiro for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Popped up into the air. It's hit to center. Hatch unable to make the one-handed grab, and Gradwall will reach with the single. We'll give him a single on that one. That was a tough extension for Hatch out there. Gradwall with a single gets on and back to the top of the order with Jake Oliver, runner on, 2 away. First pitch hits the zone to Oliver. Jake Oliver, 2022 MVP last season, and this year hitting .286, 4 home runs, tied for the league lead in home runs, 13 RBIs on the season for Oliver. So that's low for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the count. Low again. 3-1 now to Oliver. Enforcers trying to start a 2-out rally here early in game number 1. Fouls that one back. Brings the count full. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Jake Oliver strikes out swinging for out number 3. No run score for the Enforcers in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first inning here in game number 1.
Everybody who's joining us on TikTok, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel to check out our YouTube live stream to find our YouTube channel link. I got the bio. Production rolling, you know? Oh yeah. Keeping people happy. Oh.
Josh Gradwall will be on the mound for the Enforcers in game number 1. Gradwall has pitched very well this season for the Enforcers. Gradwall has a 2.68 ERA, 37 strikeouts on the season for Josh Gradwall. Dominic DeMiro will lead it off for the Mojo as there's strike 1. It's the zone, 0-1 here to DeMiro. Swing and a miss, a quick 0-2 to DeMiro. Hits the zone. As it might have been a speed check.
How fast was it? How fast was it?
62 miles an hour on the gun. It's going to be a speed check, no pitch. 0-2 remains the count. It's not going to matter.
That was a speed check.
What was that? 62.
It's another speed check, 62 miles an hour on the gun. So the count still remains 0-2. Back-to-back speed checks there for Gradwall. So that's outside. Ball 1, 1-2.
No.
Swing and a miss, and that is not speed check. Dominic DeMiro strikes out swinging for the first out. Here in the bottom of the first, Josh Gradwall faces one batter and gets his first strikeout of the ball game. Jason Shavenko making his first.
I have Alex batting second. Yeah.
That's going to be a no pitch. Never mind. Alex Hatch will be hitting second for the Mojo. Hatch, this is his first at bat in the AWA this season. First ever at bat. Correction as he looks at ball 1, 1-0 here to Hatch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And the key tonight for the Mojo is going to be, how quickly can Shavenko and Hatch adjust to this pitching. They have a pretty hefty matchup here against Josh Gradwall, and they'll also be facing Jake Oliver tonight as well. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and Hatch strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Josh Gradwall, and there's now 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Jason Shavenko will step in for his first ever at-bat in the AWA. Swing and a miss from Shavenko for strike 1, 0-1 the count. Slider is high for ball 1, 1-1. Just a bit outside there. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Shavenko. Josh Gradwall getting strikeouts 38 and 39 on the season early here in this game 1.
Wonder what he's saying to himself out there on the mound. He's got the microphone on his hat. Should be some good content later on.
We'll hopefully see a fun TikTok from Gradwall. Some of my favorite ones have been the ones where we have the GoPro on guys' heads and you get to see
It's a cool angle.
first person point of view, and as Shevchenko swings and misses there for strike 2. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, Shevchenko down swinging, and Josh Gradwall strikes out the side here in the bottom of the first. No run score for the Mojo. It's 0-0 still. We go to the top of the second. Chase Winkler leads it off for the Enforcers here in the top of the second. First pitch to Winkler hits the zone for strike 1.
Oh, guess that was a no pitch.
It was a no pitch, first pitch from DeMiro, so it is 1-0 correction on the count. 1-0 is the count. Ground ball right back to DeMiro, and he's going to tag Winkler for out number 1. Easy play there for DeMiro. 1 away in the top of the second. Josh Gradwall steps in. Gradwall had a great bottom of the first inning pitching. Struck out the side. See if he can help himself out here in a 0-0 run situation. Looks at ball 1, 1-0. Low 2-0, a count now to Gradwall, and a nice hitter's count here. Popped up into the air, Shevchenko right underneath it, and he makes the grab for out number 2. 2 away. Now on the top of the second, Jake Oliver is going to step in for the Enforcers. And Oliver has truly been the Enforcers' heart and soul on offense. 13 RBIs for Oliver this season. 4 home runs. He leads the team in both categories. See if he can get the offense going for the Enforcers here. As that's outside for ball 1, 1-0. Low and in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now to Oliver. And that is a half swing foul for strike 1. 2-1. Now to Jake Oliver, the 2022 MVP. That's ripped up the middle. It's gone. Jake Oliver, a solo home run, his 5th home run on the season, and Jake Oliver continues to mash the ball as the Enforcers have a 1-0 lead now here in the top of the second, and Jake Oliver is going to be sporting the Wiffle King helmet.
Looked like that bench jammed him a little bit, but he still had enough power to drive that straightaway center field on the line. Just stuck over the wall out there. Almost took out the camera.
Great hit there from Oliver as Chase Winkler steps in now for the Enforcers. And Oliver has just been so electric for this Enforcers team on offense. It's his 5th home run on the year. Leads the league now in home runs. Swing and a miss there from Winkler on the slow curveball from DeMiro. And you know, I've faced that firsthand, Alex. That's a tough pitch.
Yeah, it's a tough one to lay off of.
So just missing outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now the count to Winkler.
Looks like he's aiming for that high outside corner. He's just missing it.
Fouled back. Brings the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on. 2 away here for the Enforcers in the top of the second. ripped up the middle to Shavenko. It's off his hand. That'll be a single for Chase Winkler, a hard hit single into left center. Shavenko unable to hold on.
Hey, Brock's here. Hey, what's up, baby?
And now Josh Gradwall's gonna step in. Runner on first, 2 away. Good news for the Enforcers. Brock Playhouse has just arrived. It's now they're not gonna have a 4-man squad, the Enforcers.
Bus was running a little late, apparently. They had to bus him in from Shoreline. But he's here before the end of the first game.
Which is what matters. And the good news about Brock Playhouse being here is we're probably gonna be laughing a ton tonight.
Yeah, he always puts on a show.
2-0 here to Gradwall. Slow curveball, and Gradwall's able to hold off on that. A tough pitch to hold off. Gradwall does well there. 3-0 the count. Swing and a miss. A little half swing there. I don't think Gradwall was meaning to swing, but went ahead anyways. 3-1. And that is inside for ball 4. Josh Gradwall walks, and there's now runners on first and second for Jake Oliver, who hit a solo home run in his last at bat against DeMiro. A couple more runners on now. We'll see if the Enforcers can extend this 1-0 lead here in the top of the second. First pitch to Oliver, ground ball. DeMiro is not able to hold on to it. And Jake Oliver is going to reach. Bases are now loaded for the Enforcers, and Brock Playhouse, who just stepped in off of the bus, is going to be hitting for the Enforcers with the bases loaded and 2 away. Brock Playhouse, no home runs yet on the season, which is surprising for Playhouse. Generally a power hitter for the Enforcers. 1-0 is the count to Playhouse. Slider inside, 2 balls, no strikes, now the count. Ground ball over to Shavenko at third. He throws to DeMiro, and there's just not going to be a play for Shavenko. A run's going to score for the Enforcers. That'll be an RBI single for Brock Playhouse. 2-0 Enforcers.
It's one of the pitfalls of playing only with 3 guys. There's a lot of ground to cover, and when you're playing that deep, it can be hard to make a play on a slow roller.
First pitch to Winkler hits the top of the zone, 1-0. Second pitch is inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, especially when you have a couple of guys who haven't played in the league yet this year, and you know, it's going to be interesting for the Mojo tonight. And that's, I would say, the only real disadvantage that only having 3 men can provide you is not having all the right defenders out there. That hits the zone as the last pitch from DeMiro was a speed check, a no pitch.
That one was definitely not a speed check.
So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just missed.
2-2.
That was a good looking pitch with the curve ball.
Curve ball outside brings the count full, 3-2. Now to Winkler as DeMiro in a jam right now, trying to get out of it. 3-2 on the way to Winkler. Ripped over to Hatch as he tags Brock Playhouse for the final out of the inning, but 2 runs score for the Enforcers. A Jake Oliver solo home run and a Brock Playhouse RBI single do it for the Enforcers. The Enforcers lead at 2-0. We go to the bottom of the second here in game number 1. Yeah, 2-0. If you're on TikTok, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel to catch our YouTube live stream. You can find our YouTube channel in the TikTok. Dominic DeMiro steps in for the Mojo as he fouls that one back for strike one.
That was no pitch.
No pitch, Josh Gradwell, so it's 0-0. 0-0 is the count. And that was a no pitch, too fast on the gun. 1-0, now to DeMiro. And Gradwell and DeMiro have been hitting the speed check a few times here in the first game. See if they can straighten that out as the count now to DeMiro is 2-0. Inside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. And that's low for ball 4. DeMiro does well to draw a walk. Start this bottom of the second. Mojo with a runner on.
Josh didn't take any
Alex
chances
Hatch.
there with Dominic up. He's a great hitter. You don't want to give him anything good to hit. Threw him, I think, 4 straight breaking balls.
Gradwell had done so well in the first, struck out the side. As Hatch looks at ball 1, and Gradwell unfortunately has not been able to throw a strike just yet here in the second. Swing and a miss. There's his first strike, 1-1. Now the count to Hatch. Slider hits the zone for strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Down goes Hatch. Out number 1. Jason Shavanko is going to step in with 1 away and a runner on first. Ball 1 to Shavanko, and the second pitch hits the zone for strike 1. 1-1 the count. Inside for ball 2, 2-1. Hits the zone slider, a good slider there from Gradwell. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, and Shavanko does not strike out because it's another speed check for Josh Gradwell. 2-2 remains the count. Gradwell has fallen victim to that speed check quite a few times tonight. The count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just outside for ball 4, Shavanko walks in the Mojo now with runners on first and second. Dominic DeMiro steps in with runners on first and second. First pitch to him is inside for ball 1, 1-0. Swing and a miss on the slider, 1-1. Knuckleball from Gradwell hits DeMiro on the arm, 2-1 the count. Inside for ball 3, 3 balls, 1 strike. And that's just inside ball 4. Loads the bases up for the Mojo now. Alex Hatch is gonna step in. The bases juiced. Hatch walked in his last appearance. Be a ghost runner on at first for the Mojo. Only 3 guys tonight. Ground ball over to Brock Playhouse. He bobbles it, steps on first, able to get the out on Hatch, but Shavanko comes in to score. The Mojo get a run. The score is now 2-1 Enforcers. Runners on second and third. 2 away for Jason Shavenko in his AWA debut.
I think he's yet to hit the ball. This is his 3rd time up. I expect him to at least make contact here.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. And yeah, I mean, Josh Gradwell's a tough pitcher to face for your first, you know, ever pitcher in the AWA. So Shavenko's definitely got a tall task tonight. 1-1 the count. Ground ball is foul. They're on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Count here to Shavenko. 1-2 from Gradwall. Is just outside for ball 2. 2-2.
Those sliders can be a tough pitch to lay off of.
Swing and a miss, and Gradwall strikes out Shavenko for the final out in the bottom of the 2nd. But the Mojo get a run across. It's now 2-1 Enforcers. We go to the top of the 3rd here in game 1.
Wait, are y'all fishing? I can find some of you. Dude, you never even told us. What the hell is wrong with you? You never said what was wrong. You were in PE with an army. We're not your best mate. We're not at least yeah, well, yeah, you
First pitch to Gradwall is high for ball 1.
Why don't you tell us?
Ground ball down the 3rd base line, and Gradwall rounding 2nd. He's gonna hold up at, or sorry, rounding 1st. He's gonna hold up at 1st. It'll be a single for Josh Gradwall to lead it off here in the top of the 3rd. And the Enforcers able to get a runner on early here in the top of the 3rd. Jake Oliver steps up to the plate. Oliver already has a solo home run in this game as he looks at ball 1, 1-0.
I'll put the cruiser back.
They 2-0 the count here to Oliver as that's inside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Popped up into the air, Hatch coming on, and it's gonna drop. Hatch is gonna step on first for out number 1, and Josh Gradwall, great base running as he advances to 3rd. Nobody covering 3rd over there for the Mojo, and Gradwall able to advance. So although Jake Oliver gets out, it's a productive one as the base runner moves from 1st to 3rd. Brock Playhouse steps in, looks at ball 1, 1-0. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes here to Playhouse. Enforcers trying to get some insurance runs here against the Mojo as Playhouse swings and misses there for strike 1. Slider hits the zone, strike 2, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just inside.
That was a bold take.
For ball 3.
That was a pretty good looking pitch.
Pitch on the way, and Playhouse goes around. That's strike 3, and Brock Playhouse throwing his bat and screaming in frustration. 2 away. Out
Brock
here in
leaves
the
it
top
all
of
out on the
third.
field. He wants to win. He
You know,
doesn't like striking out.
I was making a joke with Brock the other day, and I told him, I said, hey man, you know, you have the best scream in the league by far.
Yeah, I don't even know who would be second.
I don't know either. We have Peter McNeil sitting next to Alex and I, and he's cracking us up right now.
He doesn't have a headset, but you can probably hear him.
So excuse us if we laugh a few too many times here in the broadcast tonight, as that's gonna be a foul ball for Chase Winkler. Did not go past that line out in front of home there for a fair ball. So 0-1 is the count to Winkler. Again, Enforcers with a runner on third, 2 away, just trying to get at least one more insurance run, as there's a strike there.
No pitch.
No pitch. Too fast on the gun. Count remains 0-1. Ground ball right back to DeMiro. He makes it up. Winkler decides to run home, and he's out of the base path. He's out anyways.
If the Cubs can do it, the Enforcers might as well try.
Chase Winkler trying his best impression of Javier Baez, but it did not work. No runs scored for the Enforcers in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third here in game one. Enforcers lead at 2-1. We'll see if they can close it out. And see on your screen, we have Fantasy Wiffle Ball, brand new this season to the AWA. You can go to playertrader.net/AWA to play today. Choose your favorite wiffle ball players to play Fantasy Wiffle Ball. Again, go to playertrader.net/AWA. We're here in the bottom of the third. Dominic DeMiro leads it off. Josh Gradwall on the mound. Mojo chasing one here in the final inning. Enforcers trying to close this out and take a 1-0 lead in the series against the Mojo, as DeMiro swings and misses. The high slider there, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I thought we would see some fireworks today, but I forgot Josh Gradwall is on the mound.
Well, we have seen one firework, Jake Oliver solo home run.
Jake Oliver's a firework in general. That was ball 3. That was ball 3.
Come on, get back.
No, the first one didn't count. Oh, we didn't count it.
Check the tape. That first pitch didn't count because we weren't ready. We were still at commercial break.
3-1 here to DeMiro, as that's inside for ball 4. Mojo start off the top of the third with a base runner. The tying run gets on early, and Alex Hatch will step in now with nobody out. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
The rookies have a big opportunity here in the bottom of the third. They can walk it off for the Mojo with 1 swing.
So that's inside to Hatch for ball 1, 1-1. Hits the zone. Drop pitch hits the zone. 1-2 now to Hatch. Hatch is able to foul that one off. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Again, we're in the final inning here in game number 1. Mojo with the tying run on at first. Ground ball past Gradwall on the mound, and Hatch gets tagged out by Blayhouse. DeMiro is gonna head around, and Jack is saying Let us score this real quick. It's going to be a dead ball on the tag out, so DeMiro is going to go back to third. No run scores for the Mojo. So dead ball on the play. Mojo with a runner on third. No run scores. Ball went out of play after hitting Hatch for the out. One away and a runner on third for Jason
Still a great
Shavanko.
spot for the Mojo.
That's low for ball one, 1-0. Just a tad inside, 2-0 here to Shavanko. Fouls that one off for strike one, 2-1.
So sales shot, I think.
Two and one here to Shavanko. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2. Shavanko bites on that slow knuckleball from Gradwall. 2-2 is the count. Swing and a miss. Down goes Shavanko. A major strikeout there for Josh Gradwall, as there's now 2 away here in the bottom of the third. It was a big strikeout for Gradwall.
Yeah, that was huge, but doesn't get any easier. He's got to face Dominic DeMiro.
Dominic DeMiro, one of the most feared and dangerous hitters in the AWA, is going to step in. Runner on third. 2 away as he looks at ball one.
Be interesting to see if Josh goes after him here. 2 outs. So far, he's just thrown him 2 breaking balls outside.
2-0 here to DeMiro, as that's outside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes, and Gradwall definitely seems to be trying to stay away here from DeMiro. Critical situation, 1-run ball game. That's a swing and a miss from DeMiro on a 3-0 count, 3-1.
Out of respect, 3-0.
DeMiro's trying to win this game with 1 swing, as that's high for ball 4. DeMiro will walk. Runners now on first and third for the Mojo. Alex Hatch is going to step in. Again, Mojo down to their final out, but they do have the tying run on over at third and the winning run on at first. That's ripped high and deep to deep left center, and Alex Hatch has hit a 3-run walk-off home run here against the Enforcers. Hatch, in his AWA debut, his first home run is a 3-run walk-off home run, and the Mojo win game 1. Final score 4-2. What a moment there for Alex Hatch.
Not a bad way to get yourself on the home run leaderboard right there. That was an absolute no-doubter the opposite way.
Wow. Mojo, they take the lead in this series. They lead at 1-0 after 1. Final score 4-2, thanks to an Alex Hatch 3-run walk-off home run. What a job there from the rookie to give this Mojo squad a 1-0 lead here against the Enforcers. Looks like we have Brock Blehaus down on the field with our own Molly Foley.
Good?
Thanks, Mark. Hey, everyone. I'm here now on the sideline with Enforcers team member Brock Blehaus, who happened to show up tonight at an opportune moment with the bases loaded. Brock, what was going through your head at that time?
I'm tired. Came up late. Wasn't really game ready, but had to get a batter in. Turns out didn't really do anything in the end. They got a walk-off home run, but we'll see. Game 2's up. We're not done yet.
Yeah, what can we expect to turn around the momentum now heading into game 2?
God, I don't know. Just keep doing what we're doing. That was just an unlucky pitch. So.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Brock.
Thank you.
Molly Foley, AWA Wiffle. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Molly. And we just heard from Enforcers player Brock Bleaus. A little bit of a tough situation for Bleaus as he got to the game late today, but was able to step right in and get an RBI single for the Enforcers. Enforcers unfortunately fall in game number 1. Final score 4-2 thanks to an Alex Hatch 3-run walk-off home run. We will be back momentarily for game number 2 between the Mojo and the Enforcers. We'll be back very shortly.
I'll be the one cracking jokes on the side this time.
Pretty cool change here. We're gonna have Peter McNeil on color. Peter, how you doing?
Is this on? Okay, yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm stoked to have you up here.
Yeah.
Glad
Stoked to be up here.
Glad you rolled through tonight. How what are your thoughts on game number 1 from the Mojo and the Enforcers?
I mean, that's tough. You know, I've been in Josh's position last week to you, so you know, I know what it's like. It's no fun, but you know, goldfish mentality. Just gotta forget it, move on.
Goldfish mentality. Hey, we were just battling out there, Peter.
Yeah, you know. Well, you know, so. It's the old gridiron.
Oh yeah. This is all just good fun.
It is good, clean family fun.
Dominic DeMiro will be on the mound, to no surprise for the Mojo here in game number 2. Jake Oliver leads it off for the Enforcers here in the top of the first. If you're just joining us, Mojo took game number 1, final score 4-2. Alex Hatch, in his AWA debut here for the Mojo, hit a 3-run walk-off home run off of Josh Gradwall. And Josh Gradwall had pitched very well in that game number 1. Unfortunately, made a mistake there to the rookie Hatch to end that ball game. Jake Oliver did not go there. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 here to Oliver.
That was a ball on the inside there.
2-1 here to Oliver. That is outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 on the way to Oliver is low for ball 4. Jake Oliver leads game number 2 off with a walk. Oliver hit a solo home run in the last game. Leads league with 5 home runs on the year.
Not a bad idea to pitch around him, you know?
Yeah.
One mistake and you know it's going to cost you, so.
Yeah.
Don't blame him at all there. This guy, however, I would attack.
Ground ball over to Shavenko at short, and there's just not going to be a play.
I guess that bat change helped out.
I'm gonna wait with the rest.
Sorry to all of our viewers, laugh attack up here in the booth. That's going to be a single for Brock Blayhouse as the first pitch to Chase Winkler. Hits the zone for strike 1, 0-1. Count runners on first and second for the Enforcers. Popped up, and Dominic DeMiro right underneath it to make the grab for out number 1. 1 away and 2 on for Josh Gradwall. First pitch to Josh Gradwall hits the zone for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Just over his head.
Almost hit the bat there.
We know how that works.
I know, I threw those, yeah.
Yeah. Viral video that you were in, Peter.
I know. My 15 minutes of fame.
I think it's been longer than 15 minutes.
It's been longer.
1-1 here to Gradwall. A ground ball over to DeMiro, and he makes the great play to tag Jake Oliver out at third. DeMiro taking the ball where it played him.
God.
Out there at third. 2 outs.
Where's Alex? He left. So sorry, I remember everything. Pause again. Dominic walk. I walked hit to the middle. The other stretch to third. Rocket single. Then take topper. Then field this first.
Back momentarily, dealing with some stat corrections. Be back. And we're back. We made all the adjustments we needed to make. And the situation is runners on first and second, 2 away. Jake Oliver up to the plate for the Enforcers as he looks at ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Ripped foul down the first base side. Strike 1, a ball and a strike now to Oliver. Fouls that one off. A ball and 2 strikes now to Jake Oliver. Enforcers trying to get on the board early here in game number 2 after falling 4-2 in game number 1.
Jake could lay off that pitch right there. I would have been swinging. 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, you tend to swing at a lot of pitches, Peter. That's why
I do.
That's why I enjoy watching you. 2-2 on the way to Oliver is high and inside. Ball 3, full count. Now here to Jake. Pitch on the way from DeMiro's ground ball right over to Shavenko at third. He throws and misses Brock Blehaus for the tag out. It'll be Jake Oliver's going to reach. Bases are loaded with 2 away, and Brock Blehaus is going to step in for the Enforcers. Blehaus was faced with a similar situation back in game number 1, and he was able to hit an RBI single for the Enforcers. We'll see if he can get them on the board early here in game number 2. First pitch is low for ball 1.
If it's too fast and it's a ball, it's a ball. If it's too fast and it's a strike, it's a ball.
1-0 here to Brock Blehaus. It's fouled back. Strike 1.
He's right on it.
He is right on it.
You foul those right back, you're right on it.
Brock's been hitting pretty well here today.
He's due.
Maybe not. A miss there, and maybe I shouldn't have even said a thing.
Yeah, maybe we should stop saying stuff.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to Brock Blehaus. Curveball gets Blehaus to chase for out number 3, and there's the best scream in the AWA right there in frustration. Nobody scores for the Enforcers here in the top of the first. Score remains 0-0. We go to the bottom of 1 here in game number 2. Dominic DeMiro will lead it off in the bottom of the first, facing Jake Oliver on the mound now for the Enforcers. Jake Oliver, the 2022 MVP in the AWA this season on the mound. Oliver has a 6.75 ERA, a little higher than normal for Jake Oliver, with 20 strikeouts on the season, facing off against one of the most dangerous hitters in the AWA, Dominic DeMiro.
Well, that higher ERA is to be expected. I mean, hitting's gotten better this year. You know, look at mine.
I was actually going to say that hitting seemed to be a little down this
season.
Is
it down this season? Anything to make myself feel better.
Popped up into the air. Brock Blehaus is right underneath it, and he makes the grab for out number 1. 1 away in the bottom of the first, and up steps Alex Hatch, who was the hero for the Mojo back in game 1. Hatch, a rookie this season in the AWA, and you'll notice that Hatch not rocking a jersey. He is a fill-in sub for the Mojo. So he looks at ball 1, and Hatch was able to hit a 3-run walk-off home run in game number 1 to lift this Mojo team to a 1-0 series lead against the Enforcers. Swing and a miss from Hatch there. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Looked like he was trying to walk it off again there. Except it's the bottom of the first.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I would say you're very right, Peter. You cannot do that. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now here to Hatch. That's fouled back out of play. Full count now to Hatch. Swing and a miss, and down goes Alex Hatch on the slow changeup from Jake Oliver. Let me tell you, I've been victim to that pitch before in the past, and it's a tough one to lay off. Hatch swinging and missing there for strike 3, 2 away now in the bottom of the first.
It's just disrespectful, I'll tell you that. I mean, a pitch like that.
Throwing a changeup.
Oh, man.
Popped up into the air. Jake Oliver makes the grab for out number 3. No runs. Score for the Mojo in the bottom of the first. Still tied 0-0. We go to the top of 2 here in game 2. Ground ball back to Dominic DeMiro. And DeMiro flips over to first to get Chase Winkler for the first out.
That's efficiency right there.
Here in the top of the second, 1 pitch and 1 out for the Mojo. Pretty good job there from DeMiro. Josh Gradwall steps in now for the Enforcers as he looks at ball 1. Popped up into the air. It's going to stay in the field. Alex Hatch makes the grab for out number 2. And I believe DeMiro's only thrown 3 pitches and he's got 2 outs.
That is correct.
Pretty impressive and efficient work there from DeMiro. Jake Oliver is going to step in now for the Enforcers. Okay. Okay.
Never mind, keep going. We have a segment we're trying to throw into.
Jake Oliver up to the plate for the Enforcers. Nobody on, 2 away. Fouls that one back.
He wants that one back.
Yes, he does. Oh, and you'll notice Dominic DeMiro having very similar look-alike Sean Harris from Mission Impossible. Dominic DeMiro and Sean Harris, a lot of similarities there. A little fun segment that we've been trying to do during AWA games. Dominic DeMiro and Sean Harris.
Have you ever seen Mission Impossible?
I've seen some.
I don't think I have.
Really?
I don't know who that guy was. I'm gonna be honest. Should I?
That's outside for a ball to Jake Oliver. Full count here to Jake Oliver. Pitched him, ground ball right back to DeMiro. Nobody on first, and Oliver It'll be an infield single for him, and that's one of the unfortunate things about having only 3 men on defense is those ground balls in no man's land. Hard to get outs on those.
Went right to that, yeah, right to that area of the field. No one can quite cover. Is it the pitchers? Is it the first basemen? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's a good point. DeMiro and Hatch both went after that one, and Jake Oliver, easy for him to get to first. First pitch to Brock Blehaus is outside for ball 1, and you'll notice that Brock Blehaus is rocking the GoPro on his head. 1-1.
Do you think that's distracting? It looks like it's in his vision. Like,
So that's foul back for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Let's put the GoPro on the shitty player.
that's got to be covering his eyes.
Every time you step in, like I just laugh, like super hard. I don't know why. Never laughing.
And it's just recording his shoes right now.
1-2. Ground ball over to Hatch at first. This is going to be a tough play, and he's able to tag Brock Blehaus for the final out. Great play there from Hatch.
That is quite the play.
No run score for the Enforcers in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second here in game number 2.
If you're joining us on TikTok, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel. You can find our YouTube, our YouTube channel in the bio. Better live streaming experience over on YouTube. Check it out.
Dominic DeMiro steps in here in the bottom of the second inning. Ripped down the third base side. That'll be a foul ball as it hit the bush over there on the third base line. Foul ball. Just barely foul. It hit the bush over there on the third base side. Popped up into the air. Jake Oliver coming on, and he makes the grab for out number 1. An unfortunate series of events there for DeMiro, as he thought he had a out there, or thought he had a single. Unfortunately pops up for out number 1. Alex Hatch steps in now for the Mojo. First pitch hits him for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 here to Hatch. Ground ball right back to Jake Oliver. He bobbles it a couple of times, but he's able to field it cleanly and throw to first to get the out on Hatch.
I know that panic.
2 away in the bottom of the second, and up steps Jason Shavanko.
You don't know if you're going to get that. You're trying to get a grip. These are
Finally,
plastic balls. There's
yeah.
not a lot of grip to them. So.
I know, and it makes it even more difficult too when you're holding multiple, balls
That's
up there
true.
as well.
Yeah. That's why I only try to do one when I'm pitching.
But when you hold multiple at a time, the game just goes by faster. You don't have to keep bending over, picking it up,
Yeah.
1-0, and now 2-0 to Shavanko.
That was just a bit outside.
Just a bit high as well. Drop pitch gets Shavanko to chase for strike 1, 2-1. Now the count. Shavanko trying to make the adjustment.
That was a good pitch.
To the AWA, that was a good pitch, as that's strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Now he's facing some pretty great pitching here tonight. Jake Oliver and Josh Gradwell, as that riser hits the bottom part of the zone for strike 3. Down goes Shavenko.
Disgusting.
For out number 3. No run score for the Mojo. We're still tied 0-0. We go to the final inning here in game number 2. Josh Gradwell will lead it off for the Enforcers to start this final inning here in game number 2. Enforcers trying to tie this series up at a game apiece. Currently find themselves in a 1-0 hole. That's ripped high and deep, and Josh Gradwell's looking for that first home run, and unfortunately he's not gonna get it. That is so unfortunate. Josh Gradwell, if you remember earlier in the game in his interview with our own Molly Foley, he mentioned saying that he had 7 home runs this season, foul ball home runs right there. Looked like it was going to have the distance, but he actually hit the ball so hard that the wiffle ball actually smashed.
Yeah,
and
he hit
it
it too
stopped the
hard.
carry, and it stays in the yard. It's going to be a single for Gradwell, who is still looking for that. And Chase
That is gone
Winkler
now.
hits an opposite field 2-run home run, and the Enforcers go out to a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd. Chase Winkler had a couple of home runs in the last series for the Enforcers, has another one here. Chase Winkler has hit all of his home runs this season to the opposite field, all 3 of them. And the Enforcers needed that. They go out to now a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd. Jake Oliver is going to step in for the Enforcers now with nobody out.
I like it. We've seen a lot of power to both fields
We have.
just these last couple of games.
Oliver able to hold off there for ball 1.
Nothing like an apple turn.
Oh, absolutely. Those are my favorite home runs. Love hitting to the opposite field.
Absolutely.
2-0. The count here to Oliver. Popped up into the air. It's deep, but it's going to stay in the park, and Hatch is underneath it to make the grab. First out here in the top of the 3rd. Up steps Brock Blayhouse, who's sporting the GoPro on his head, trying to get us some good camera angles.
I don't think that's a good camera angle. You see where that's pointing?
Yeah, you know, I don't really know.
Pointing at his feet.
I don't know why
What's that gonna capture?
he's facing it that way particularly, but you know, I'm gonna assume that maybe he knows more than we do, Peter.
Who, Brock?
Brock does well to hold off there. 2 balls, no strikes.
Is that camera supposed to be looking at his feet?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see.
That's
It's a very
fouled
broad
back.
angle.
You gotta get that 360
Because I think it just looks directly down your nose, right?
Shane's like, that's supposed to be quick.
What's the count?
2-1 here to Blayhouse, as he did go around there for strike 2. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brock Blayhouse still looking for that first home run of the season. Did not go there. That's ball 3. Blayhouse does well to hold off. Full count.
He didn't go.
You just want to extend the
Ground ball right back to DeMiro. He picks it up and hits Playhouse for the out. That's the second out here in the top of the third.
So it's Josh, right? Sorry. Josh,
You're gonna wake up tomorrow like, why am I? Oh, that's right. Right at me.
Josh Gradwall is going to step in for the Enforcers with nobody on and 2 away. Gradwall just barely missed a home run in his last at-bat.
We'll see if he'll do it this at-bat maybe.
And Josh Gradwall might be one of the most unlucky players at the plate this season in the AWA. 1-0, count to him. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. I mean, to have 7 foul ball home runs and then to smash a ball in midair when it had the distance and it just dies in the air, single instead, I'd be pretty frustrated if I was Gradwall.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, that's May Wiffle Ball. You know, air's not quite as warm, ball's not going to travel as far.
It's not a bad night tonight, though.
It's not.
Pretty nice. As Gradwall fouls that one off, 2 balls
but it's
and 2
also
strikes
early.
on the count.
You're not in full season form yet, so.
That's true. That's true.
Give him a couple weeks. I'm willing to bet we see him at double-digit home runs this season.
Really? Okay, hot take there from Peter McNeil. Josh Gradwall going to be hitting.
It'll be low.
Double-digit home runs.
Maybe.
Strike 3 hits the zone. Josh Gradwall strikes out for the final out in the top of the third, but the Enforcers get 2 runs off of a Chase Winkler 2-run home run. They lead it 2-0. We go to the bottom of the third here in game number 2.
Oh, I'm losing my mind. I thought I had my hat in my hand. If you're on TikTok, make sure you head on over every time he doesn't respond. But no, that's not it. He has his phone in the car. He does. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought that's what it was for 1 hour. Phone easily gets that.
Are we good?
Dominic DeMiro leads it off for the Mojo here in the bottom of the third. Again, Enforcers leading 2-0. This is the second time here today that the Enforcers have led going into the final inning of the ball game. But the Enforcers lost game 1 4-2 off of an Alex Hatch 3-run walk-off home run. We'll see if they can hold on here in game 2 and tie this series. 2-0 is the count to Dominic DeMiro. Just a bit inside. DeMiro now looking at a 3-0 count. Mojo just trying to get base runners on any way they can. Popped up into the air, and that's gone.
That's gone.
Dominic DeMiro, an opposite field bomb. Solo home run, and the Mojo now are within 1 run. Solo home run for Dominic DeMiro is now 2-1. Enforcers still holding on to a 1-run lead.
First hit for the Mojo, too, today.
First hit.
That's efficiency.
Wow.
1 hit, 1 run.
Dominic DeMiro. Solo home run. Alex Hatch looks at ball 1. Tying run up to the plate for the Mojo is swing and a miss there from
Trying
Hatch.
to tie it up there. Oh, boy.
Big swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Slider just a bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Riser is fouled back into the strike zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes now here to Hatch.
That's the pitch you want back.
It's a big, big batter here for Jake Oliver. Drop ball gets Hatch to chase. Down goes Hatch for out number 1. Big strikeout there for Jake Oliver to get Alex Hatch 1 away now in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, just keep chipping away at him. You know, he's got good stuff out there. If he just keeps throwing those balls, you know, getting the sequencing going, I think he'll do well this inning.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. You think the Enforcers can hold on in this 1-run lead?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to jinx him.
No, I like that.
But maybe.
I like that. Jason Shavenko is going to step in for the Mojo. Nobody on and 1 out. First pitch to Shavenko hits him in the back for ball 1.
Right in the delt.
Doesn't feel good.
Especially after a back day. Whew.
Swing and a miss there from Shavenko. 1-1. And that just outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now here to Shavenko. Mojo just down a run, tying run at the plate. As Shavenko does well there to hold off. 3-1 the count. Pitch from Oliver is outside for ball 4. Shavenko.
That was a bold take.
That was a bold take. Works a walk. There's now a runner on. They now get the tying run on at first, and Dominic DeMiro, who just hit a solo home run in his last at-bat, will step in now for the Mojo.
Can do it again?
We'll see, but if he does it here, it'll be a walk-off.
That's true, and that'll be back-to-back walk-offs in 2 games. You don't see those too often.
Enforcers have a 3-7 record on the season. Mojo looking at a 6-4 record as that pitch hits DeMiro on the back for ball 1, 1-0.
Is that a little bit of a message there, you think?
You know, I don't think so.
First pitch in the ribs? I don't know.
I don't think so. 2-0. Count here to DeMiro. DeMiro does well to hold off there. 3 balls, no strikes. Now the count. I can almost guarantee you that DeMiro will swing here. And that's why I said almost guarantee, because he holds off for ball 4. Runners on first and second for the Mojo. Alex Hatch is going to step in, the hero from game number 1.
Possibly the hero from game number 2.
Never know, never know. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1 there to Hatch. And that is fouled off by Hatch. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, a bit of a hole here.
Blow it fair.
Get on the other side.
Yeah.
0-2 here to Hatch. Tying run for the Mojo on at second. The winning run on at first. Enforcers trying to hang on to a 1-run lead. Swing and a miss from Hatch, and he strikes out swinging for out number 2. 2 away. The bottom of the 3rd, and the Mojo are now down to their final out. Jason Shavenko is going to step in for the Mojo.
I got a feeling in my bad knee.
Alex Hatch was the hero in game 1 for the Mojo. We'll see if Shavenko can do the same thing, as that is one hops the fence. DeMiro rounding third, heading home, and he's gonna score. Shavenko, RBI single, ties this game up 2-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Runners on first and third for the Mojo. DeMiro steps in, the winning run on at third. 2 away. Big, big situation.
Don't doubt the knee.
In the game.
2 outs, right?
Yeah, it's 2.
Hey, you're going.
First pitch to DeMiro is outside for ball 1, 1-0, and I'd have to imagine Jake Oliver is probably going to want to try to stay away from DeMiro if he can. Got a base open as that is foul down the first base side for strike 1, 1-1. What? One ball, one strike is the count to DeMiro. Runners at the corners. Winning run on at third. Mojo trying to win this series against the Enforcers as that is outside for ball 2, 2-1. Jake Oliver trying to be careful here with DeMiro. DeMiro had a solo home run in his first at-bat in the third. That's outside again. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Hitters count here. I wonder what he's going to do. Load the bases or give him something to hit? What would you do?
What would I do? I think in a situation like this, with how electric DeMiro's been all season long on the mound and at the plate, I'd have to say I'm walking him.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd go after him.
See what happens here. DeMiro, 3-1 count. Winning run on at third. The pitch from Oliver is fouled back into the strike zone for strike number 2. Full count now to DeMiro. 3-2 on the way from Oliver is a slow riser. It's popped up into the air. It's high. It's going to stay in the park, and Chase Winkler is able to make the grab for out number 3, but the Mojo get 2 runs across in the bottom of the third. They tie this ball game up. We got free wiffle ball here in game number 2. We're going to the top of the 4th. Tie game 2-2 between the Mojo and the Enforcers.
Chase. Joining us on TikTok, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel to check out the YouTube live stream. You can find our YouTube channel in the bio.
Chase Winkler steps in for the Enforcers here in extras. As he looks at the first 2 pitches for balls. 2-0 here to Winkler. Mojo have been very clutch thus far in this series. Mojo have gone into the final inning of both games 1 and now in game 2, trailing in the inning, and they've been able to come back. In game 1 they were able to win it, and in game 2 they were able to tie it here.
They've really carried that mojo throughout both of these games here, I will say that.
Pitch is inside there to Winkler for ball 4, and just like that, the Enforcers get a base runner on here in extras. Jake Oliver will step in now for the Enforcers. If the Enforcers want to win this ball game, they're really going to need the offense from Oliver. See if he can get things going here for the Enforcers in extras.
Yeah, Oliver heating up would really help this Enforcers team, I will say.
It would. Swing and a miss from Oliver, 0-1. Oliver does well to hold off there. A ball and a strike. Now the count. Tie game 2-2 here in extras of game 2. 2-1 now here to Oliver. Mojo leading the series currently 1-0.
It's a good win layoff.
Great job there from Oliver, and it's now 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 on the way is high for ball 4. And that's now back-to-back walks for DeMiro. Started off here in extras, and Brock Blehouse will step in with a couple of runners on and nobody out.
Well, you got to think. I mean, pitched last game. He pitched this game. This is the 7th inning. You know, he's got a lot of pitches under his belt.
That's true.
It's going to be hard to hit the zone here.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You got to find your rhythm back, though. It's against this guy here.
One and 0 here to Brock Blehouse as he looks at that second pitch up high. 2-0.
Did you put those on? Where did he get the socks? Has he been wearing those the whole time?
I have not noticed those. That's ripped high up into the air. Shavenko is underneath it and makes the grab for out number 1. One away.
Thank you very much.
For Josh Gradwall. Still runners on first and second.
What the hell is that? Doesn't make a noise. Is that Colin? Colin responds. Sounds like Kevin from Power. Dude, when did you put the socks on? Oh, he's had them on. You yank them up? Yeah, they've been on.
Josh Gradwall looks at ball 1 high. 1-0. Curveball.
That hurt. Quick twitch.
Low and outside for ball 2. 2-0 here for Josh Gradwall, or AKA maybe the most unlucky hitter in the league this season for the AWA, as he's now looking at a 3-0 count.
They don't call him Josh Unlucky Gradwall for nothing.
3-0 on the way here to Gradwall is outside for ball 4. That'll load the bases for the Enforcers. Now on the top of the 4th, Chase Winkler is going to step up for the Enforcers. Remember, Winkler had that 2-run home run for the Enforcers just a few innings ago, and he's provided all the offense for the Enforcers here in game number 2.
He's hot. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Pitch on the way to Winkler is low for ball 1. Ground ball right back to DeMiro, and he's going to tag home for the force out on Oliver. 2 away. Now on the top of the 4th, but Jake Oliver is going to step in against DeMiro.
Oh, that was cool.
This Enforcers team trying to do anything and everything they can to try to even this series up at a game apiece. Enforcers looking at the go-ahead run on over at 3rd, and Brock Blehouse, Jake Oliver stepping in, 2022 MVP last season in the AWA. That is low for ball 1. Slow curve, and Oliver does well to hold off on that. 2-0. Count to Jake Oliver. Pitch on the way is on inside. 3-0.
Having a hard time finding the zone here.
3-0 from Dom hits the zone, and that was a big pitch from DeMiro.
I don't blame Jake for holding there, though. Got to show some consistency throwing strikes.
A walk would give the Enforcers the lead here in extras. 3-1. It's the count here to Oliver. That's in the dirt for ball 4. That walks in a run. Enforcers now out to a 3-2 lead in extras. Bases remain loaded. Brock Blehouse will step up to the plate. Blehouse flew out in his last at-bat, sporting some sweet high socks. Enforcers take the lead with that walk from Jake Oliver.
That'd be nice. Told me what's up. Yeah, I haven't responded because he got out.
Strike to Brock Playhouse.
Jesus Christ.
Swing and a miss, and I don't know what Brock Playhouse is swinging at there. That was way outside and high.
Almost swung out of his socks. That's hard to do with those things yanked up.
Ball at 2 strikes. Hits the zone, strike 3. Brock Playhouse strikes out, looking a major strikeout for Dominic DeMuro. But the Enforcers, they score a run in the top of the fourth. They now lead it 3-2. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in game number 2.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm doing my best. If you're voting us on TikTok, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel and you can find the link to our YouTube channel in the bio. We have a YouTube channel on the iTunes channel, better overall.
Alex Hatch will lead it off here for the Mojo in the bottom of the 4th as he looks at ball 1, 1-0.
What do you think's going to happen this inning?
We'll
Keep
see.
the Mojo going?
The Mojo, they've headed into the final inning now of the last 2 games. They've been able to either tie the game or win it. So we'll see if the Enforcers can hold on to this one-run lead they have here, as the count is 2-1 now to Hatch.
I would also like to point out that Hatch is in Converse.
Respect.
I respect that. I really do.
2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, they say that Converse are the best shoes to lift in, and one of the best.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Vans too.
I also like Vans. I'm a big fan of Vans. And that pitch is outside for ball 3. Full count. Now to Hatch.
Is it because it gives you the ankle support? Is that why they say that?
It's because, I believe it's because they're flat.
They're flat?
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Jake Oliver strikes out. Alex Hatch for the first out in the bottom of the 4th. That's a big out for Oliver and the Enforcers, doing whatever they can to try to hold on to this 1-run lead as Jason Shavenko is going to step in for the Mojo.
Third the way there. 2 more now.
See if Jake Oliver can close this thing out for the Enforcers.
Last 2 are the toughest, though, I will say.
Oh, I say the last 3 outs are the hardest.
Yeah, but the last 2 especially.
I don't know, you need 9 all night. It's pretty tough.
1-0 is the count here to Shavenko. Does well to hold off there for ball 2, 2-0. Swing and a miss. A great riser there from Oliver.
That was a good one. Lots of movement on that.
It did. 2-1. Now the count to Shavenko. Drop is just inside for ball 3, 3-1.
So you see how he's switching his eye level there? Goes riser up, drop down. It's the least thing you'd expect.
Riser is in there.
Back again with the riser.
Full count now to Shavenko.
There's some mind games going on here, is all I'm saying.
Oliver is one of the best at that. Full count here to Shavenko. Nobody on, 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. And that is outside. Shavenko draws a walk, wins the battle there against Oliver, and the Mojo get the tying run on at first.
Yeah, he went back to that sinker, just couldn't locate it. Way outside. Not the right grip, but good sequencing again.
Unfortunate there for Oliver. Now he's got to face Dominic DeMuro with a runner on. Tying run on at first. DeMuro represents the winning run at the plate. pitch to DeMiro is inside. Ball 1.
I know.
Rip down the third base side. It's a fair ball, and that'll be a single for DeMiro. Runners on first and second. Up steps Alex Hatch. Hatch struck out in his first at bat of this inning. Slider hits Hatch.
Right. Yeah, that's
Right
squared
in
him
the
up
stomach.
good.
Forster's got the shift on here against the lefty Hatch. Slider is low and in the dirt.
So a
Two
little-
balls, no strikes.
Little trivia for you. Where did Hatch go to school?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Peter. I don't know much about him.
I think it was Hawaii. Just because of the shorts.
Oh,
That's my guess.
that would make sense. Swing and a miss there evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But that would make 2 on this team, because Dominic was also Hawaii.
They must have met there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
That would
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Wait.
Ground ball over to Brock Blehouse at first. He fakes the throw against Hatch, and Hatch is going to be safe at first. An infield single that's going to load up the bases. An unfortunate error there made by Brock Blehouse. You know, could have been worse though. I guess if he threw it away there,
Run
probably would
scores,
have
tie
run
game.
score tie game. So
Yeah,
maybe a
not a
smart
bad
play
idea
there
to
from
hold it.
Brock Blehouse to hold it there.
Yeah.
Bases loaded. Jake Oliver is now going to be facing Jason Shavenko with 1 out, bases juiced.
I mean, he's going to look for that double play ball, you know, get you out of it real quick. But
Forcers trying to hold on to this 1-run lead. Tying run for the Mojo on at third, winning run on at second. First pitch to Shavenko is in there for strike 1. Shavenko fouls that one back for strike 2.
looks like he's up in the velo a little bit on some of these situations getting to him.
0-2 now to Shavenko. Drop gets Shavenko to swing and miss.
Huge strikeout
Out number
there.
2. Out in the bottom of the 4th, but Jake Oliver's gonna have to face Dominic DeMiro with the bases loaded. DeMiro has been hitting great today off of Oliver.
These are those matchups that you're always practicing in the backyard as a kid. Down
It
by
is.
1, bases loaded, 2 outs, game on the line.
Oliver's gonna have to go right after DeMiro in this at-bat. As that's popped up, fouled back for strike 1.
I realize, though, that we are doing that situation right now.
Yeah, we currently are in a backyard. You
We
are
are.
correct. 0-1, the count. And that is just high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now to DeMiro.
Oh my
And
God.
that drop
Just missed it.
is fouled off by DeMiro. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mojo down to their final strike. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Enforcers trying to tie this series up at a game apiece.
Count? One and two? Yeah. 2 outs?
2.
One ball and 2 strikes. Bases loaded. 2 away. Those are down to their final strike. The pitch from Oliver hits the zone, but it's going to be too hot on the gun. No pitch.
Ooh,
And that's tough. Jake Oliver thought he
extra
had
life right there.
the game won.
I had a front row.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to DeMiro. Pitch from Oliver. Just misses the outside part of the zone.
Close.
Evens
2-2.
the count. 2-2.
2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here to DeMiro in a critical situation. The Mojo with the tying run on at third, winning run on at second. Swing and a miss, and and it's too fast on the gun again. That is two. That is 2 speed checks for Jake Oliver in this at-bat against DeMiro. They've both been too fast. And both of those pitches were for strikeouts, potentially.
Twos.
A ball if it's faster than no. So the rule is if it's a strike and it's too fast, it's no pitch. I got you. Too fast and it's a ball, it's a ball.
So 2-2, right?
Yes, 2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes to DeMiro. 2-2 from Oliver. Slow. It's fouled. Up into the air, and the count stays at 2-2.
Staying alive.
That was a risky pitch there from Oliver, throwing a changeup to DeMiro. 2-2. Tying run on at third, winning run on at second. The 2-2 from Oliver. Just a bit outside, and the count is now full.
Here it is.
Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Enforcers holding on to a 1-run lead, trying to tie this series up at a game apiece. 3-2 from Oliver is just low and outside, and DeMiro draws a walk that walks in the tying run for the Mojo.
I am shocked.
And is now 3-3 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Mojo just keeping Mojo going.
What an at-bat from DeMiro, and I mean, that was a tough situation for Jake Oliver. He technically struck out DeMiro twice, but both were on pitches that were too fast.
Yeah.
And that's what the speed check can do to you. You know, it can really change ball games.
It does. It plays with your mind a little bit, you know? And then you have to just refocus once you get speed checked and try to strike him out again. It's hard to do.
Alex Hatch, the hero of game number 1. And ground ball over to Gradwall at short, and he's going to get the force out on the ghost runner at second. Run does not score for the Mojo, but the Mojo, they score a run to tie it up here in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the top of 5, still tied, 3-3.
Peter, who's up?
That'd be sweet if it's setting. I could just like massage it down with Jake.
That'd be amazing.
Oh.
Wait, Peter, who is it?
Me. Oh, sweet. Hey, you know, you guys should try to,
I know, it's like, we got lights, but let's not use it.
It's 8 o'clock.
Really? Damn, Peter.
Josh Gradwall will lead it off in the top of the 5th for the Enforcers. Still 3-3. Been a very close matchup between these two.
Both teams just staying alive.
As Gradwall looking at 2-0 now. Haven't been in very many extra inning ball games this season in the AWA, but tonight we got a 5-inning game going here for game 2.
Yeah, one of the long ones. Free baseball,
That's
wiffle ball.
Ripped off of the tree, foul.
It felt like an out.
I think we need to implement those rules next year. I like that. Trees in play.
Imagine.
I like that.
That would negate a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. 2-2 here to Gradwall. fouled off, and the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's just on it. He's roped when foul. Foul both these back.
2-2 on the way is low for ball 3. Full count now here to Gradwall. Slow curveball is foul.
Getting that pitch count up.
Full count.
We're up to 78 pitches now.
Didn't you guys go to the bottom of the 6th? Years ago. Yeah. That was exciting. 20 years.
Swing and a miss, and Josh Gradwall strikes out swinging for out number 1. 1 away in the top of the 5th. Chase Winkler is going to step in for the Enforcers. Chase Winkler does well to hold off there for ball 1, 1-0. Another slow curveball from DeMiro. Misses for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now to Winkler.
Look where he's standing up here in the box.
I think he's just trying to mess with DeMiro there in case he gets another slow curveball. And got a curveball there, but a little faster.
A little bit.
3-0 now to Winkler. Swing and a miss, a big swing and a miss from Winkler. Moves the count to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Bit of a courtesy swing there, I think.
I would say so. Slow curveball.
Hit the zone, too.
Chase Winkler swings and misses on that.
That was a great one to swing at, though. That was a strike either way.
So mad I missed that.
Full count, and Winkler really wishes he had another shot at that one. Slow curveball again is ripped high and deep, and that's another home run for Chase Winkler. A solo shot here in the top of the 5th gives the Enforcers the lead at 4-3. That's Chase Winkler's 2nd home run in the game. Had a 2-run homer earlier in the game. 2nd home run, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs in this game for Winkler.
Somebody ring the Winkster, having himself a day.
And the Enforcers now out to a 4-3 lead. Jake Oliver steps in against DeMiro with 1 away, nobody on. Enforcers trying to do anything and everything they can to increase this lead as they've headed, as that's hit high and deep, it's going to be foul for strike 1. As I was saying, the Enforcers have headed into the final inning of these ball games with a 1-run lead, and they have not been able to hold on to that lead. So the Enforcers, this 1-run lead is by no means safe. As that pitch is high to Oliver, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ripped high and deep, and that is out of here. Jake Oliver hits a home run to the deepest part of the park, and that's back-to-back home runs for the Enforcers. Jake Oliver and Chase Winkler going back-to-back, and the Enforcers get another run up on the board. They lead it now 5-3 here in the top of the 5th. Brock Playhouse steps in for the Enforcers as he looks at ball 1, 1-0. Pitch hits the zone for strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up into the air, it's high, not deep enough as Shavenko makes the grab for out number 2. 2 outs. Nobody on. Josh Gradwall stepping in for the Enforcers. First pitch to Gradwall hits the zone, strike one. Balls in 1 strike. And that is low for ball one. A ball and a strike to Gradwall. Popped up into the air, DeMiro right under it, and he makes the grab for the final out in the top of the 5th, but the Enforcers get 2 runs in the top of the 5th. A solo home run from Chase Winkler and a solo home run from Jake Oliver. They go back to back, and the Enforcers now have a 2-run lead going into the bottom of the 5th here in game 2.
If you're joining us on TikTok, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel and check out our YouTube live stream on the link to our YouTube channel in the bio.
Swing and a miss there from Shavenko for strike 1. And Enforcers trying to close this out here. That is tad high for ball 1, 1-1. Yeah, it's been their Achilles heel, I would say.
I told you those last 2 outs are the toughest ones. Yeah, I did. I'm starting to get bit up here in the booth.
No, there's always a lot of mosquitoes out here, especially in the months of May, June, July, and August. A little bit in September, I would say, as well.
Yeah, they're not around in the winter.
No, they're not.
We're also not out here in the winter, so.
And that is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Shavenko. Riser hits Shavenko on the back for ball 3, full count.
3-2. I have no idea. That's the scoreboard. I gotta focus on trying to hit the damn white ball.
You're not getting cheated on your hat.
What's the count?
Full count.
3-2.
Yeah.
Full count here to Shavenko. Nobody on, nobody out. And that is too low for ball 4. Shavenko walks. And the Mojo are going to get the tying run to the plate just like that. And Oliver is just really struggled here in this game 2 to close this out. To get those final 3 outs is the...
That is a
it's the
no
zone
pitch.
For strike 1.
64.
You did, dude. You turned it on. Just so you guys get it.
I think I threw that hard.
I know. It looks about the same.
Strike 1 there to DeMiro. The first pitch from Oliver was too quick on the gun, and Oliver has fallen victim to that speed check multiple times here tonight as that's fouled off from DeMiro. No balls and 2 strikes.
What are you doing? We're just gassing up the boys out there. Oh, man,
Daddy. 0-2 here to DeMiro. Fouls that one off. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
Staying alive out there.
Oh, gosh, wrong way. Is it 1 and 2 or 2 and 2?
0-2. The count. Oliver was wondering what the count was. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to DeMiro is too high.
Close one.
They were back
1 and 2 the count. And this game number 2 has truly been a marathon. That game 1 got over pretty quickly, but this game 2 has gone on for a while. We're here in the bottom of the 5th as DeMiro swings and misses.
63.
Too fast there. And Oliver just continues to get speed checked. 1 and 2 here to DeMiro. Is ripped over to Gradwall at third, and there's just no play for him as Shavenko gets in safely to second. DeMiro will give him a single on that. And runners on first and second. Nobody out still for Alex Hatch.
I did my research too, by the way. He did go to the University of Hawaii, so.
That's interesting. Yeah. Alex Hatch and Dominic DeMiro.
That comes from our stats and data person, Shannon. Shannon, as we call her.
Miss Shannon, where's she?
What a
right
snag.
Over to Jake Oliver. He's able to make the grab and is able to get the force out on Shavenko. What a snag there from Jake Oliver.
That was something.
One away. Now on the bottom of the fifth. Runners on first and second.
That looks pretty dirty.
And it looks like the commissioner, Jack Playhouse, is just trying to make sure that Jake Oliver didn't have any sticky substances on his hands and appears to have checked out there. But what a snag there from Oliver.
We've all been there.
You in particular, Peter. Jason Shavenko will step in with a couple of runners on and one away. First pitch to him is a slider high for ball one. Slider is low and in the dirt for ball two. 2-0 is the count here to Shavenko. Popped up into the air. Brock Playhouse can't make the grab. Oliver does step on first to get the out on Shavenko at first. But
recovery.
The runners advance to second and third. 2 away. Now in the bottom of the fifth, Brock Playhouse unfortunately wasn't able to make the grab. Great recovery from Jake Oliver to be in that position to grab the ball and step on first for the force out.
Here we go again.
Dominic DeMiro is going to face
2 outs.
Jake Oliver with runners on second and third, 2 outs.
Tying run at second. Base hit ties it.
Tying run on at second. And the winning run is DeMiro at the plate. Swing and a miss.
0-1.
First pitch, 0-1 the count. It's low outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to DeMiro. It would truly be something if the Mojo forced a 6th inning, but we'll see if Jake Oliver can close it out here and get the final out for the Enforcers. Pitch from Oliver hits the zone. Strike 2. DeMiro looking back to see if that was a speed check. Oliver been speed checked many times in this game. 1 and 2. Ground ball right back to Oliver. He bobbles it and he throws it out of play. Hatch is gonna be rewarded an extra base because Oliver threw the ball home to try to get the out on Shavenko, but it goes out of play and the base runners are awarded a base. So Hatch comes in to score, 2-run score. We're gonna look at the replay as Oliver claims that he hit Shavenko on the foot, and we're gonna look at this replay. But and Shane, and we just got confirmation that Jake Oliver was able to get the out on Shavenko going home, and that'll be the final out. The Enforcers win it 5-3 here in game 2. What a play from Jake Oliver. We thought he missed Shavenko coming home, but the ball hits Shavenko on the foot as he's going in to score, and the Enforcers hold on to win this ball game. Final score of 5-3. The series is now tied between the Mojo and the Enforcers at a game apiece. We'll be getting game number 3 started here momentarily between these two teams. But before we do, we will have an interview down on the field. Molly Foley has Chase Winkler down on the field for an interview. We'll send it down to Molly now.
What's up, ballers? I'm here after a long conclusion to game 2. Finally, the Enforcers come out on top, and I'm joined now with Chase Winkler. Chase, you had 2 home runs tonight. How did that feel?
It felt really good. You know, first part of the game, I was just hitting it right back to Dom all game, and finally started to see that slider well and put it out the other way. So good swings.
Congratulations. I will say, I think this was probably the longest game we've had in AWA history, at least so far this season. How does that affect the players and mindset overall heading into a late night here?
Yeah, it's been a long one so far. I mean, I know Jake and Dom are just burnt. They've been scraping the bottom of the barrel and out there pitching. So we're all pretty tired, but we're looking to have a quick game 3 and get out of here soon.
That sounds good to me. Thank you, Chase, and good luck.
Thanks, Molly.
Back to you, Mark.
I don't want to start game 3 until I see that shit.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, Molly. You just heard from Enforcers player Chase Winkler. Winkler had 2 home runs in that game number 2, a solo home run and a 2-run home run for the Enforcers, and that ultimately helped the Enforcers to get that game number 2 win to tie this series with the Mojo. Game number 3 between the Enforcers and the Mojo will be the rubber match. Winner of this game 3 will take the series. Again, we will have first pitch for game number 3 coming at you all momentarily.
No, it's batting. So you're third, you're fourth? Oh, well, no, well, Brock will be fourth. 2 or 3? 2, 3. Okay, yeah. All right. Me, Josh, Chase, Brock. Okay, so Jake, Josh, Chase. Yeah. Then same position.
Usually when you hit him, it'll change direction.
I'm gonna be in Kent at 6 a.m. Wait, Jake, you're pitching? Yeah. Gotta go get that one.
On Thursday? My man.
I'm off till Tuesday, baby.
Bye.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Was Trevor Zanuka a walk-off?
No, it's just the 6th inning.
Oh, 6th?
Yeah. We're not putting Trevor in any high leverage.
Yeah. Reminder for everybody that's 41, so
Make sure you head on over to
Let's do this. Let's pitch.
Trevor makes me make
in the bio.
Yeah, okay, that. After
Same game not logging up?
I don't know, man.
Game on!
I'm really story.
Let's swing it like 2 pitches later for
Wait,
We're all swinging this game.
no, I was joking in the field. I go, you guys are going to put in a roll. We have to swing 6 times in a bat. We start 0-6.
Yeah,
You get one opportunity no matter where the ball goes. We'll get a tee out and then we blindfold us.
let's try to get this game.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Game on!
Jason Shavenko is going to be on the mound for the Mojo in game number 3. Shavenko in his AWA debut,
It is in effect.
along with Alex Hatch for the Mojo.
Well,
And they were
we're on the same page, we're just clarifying.
last-minute subs for the Mojo, and they don't even have jerseys just yet. So we'll see how Shavenko fares here in this game number 3, trying to get the Mojo a series win against the Enforcers. Shavenko just getting a few warm-up pitches in. Jake Oliver will lead it off for the Enforcers. Enforcers after that, game number 2, were able to improve their record to now 4-7 on the season. Mojo fall to 6-5. And again, we'll be getting game number 3 started here shortly between these two teams. It's been a marathon thus far between these two teams, and very close matchups. The first 2 games. Again, Jake Oliver leading it off for the Enforcers. Jason Shavenko on the mound for the Mojo. Pitch on the way from Shavenko is spiked into the dirt for ball 1.
Oh, that was good.
And that just a bit high for ball 2. 3-0 now to Oliver. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Just inside for ball 4. Jake Oliver leads off this game number 3 with a walk. Enforcers get a runner on first. And up steps Josh Gradwall for the Enforcers. Gradwall sporting the mic here in game 3. I'm sure we'll be getting some good content from Gradwall. Ground ball over to DeMuro at short. He
got him.
Gets Oliver.
Ooh.
For the out. One away here in the top of the first. Josh Gradwall on at first in the fielder's choice. Chase Winkler steps in for the Enforcers. Pitch from Shavenko is low and in the dirt for ball 1. Second pitch just a bit outside. 2-0 here to Winkler. Just a tad high for ball 3. 3-0. Swing and a miss there from Winkler brings the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, and it's now a full count here to Winkler, and Winkler's been hot. He's trying to get a hit here. Is Shavenko able to hit the zone for strike 3? That's Shavenko's first ever strikeout in the AWA. 2 outs now in the top of the first, and up steps Brock Blayhouse for the Enforcers.
Sporting the low socks now.
Congratulations to Jason Shavenko on his first strikeout, and yeah, Brock Blayhouse is wearing the socks a little lower now. Brock looks at ball 1. Flared up, foul.
Blowing that ball foul.
That shit. I'll take a strike over that.
1 ball and 1 strike. And if you were wondering, we did have a really long game number 2 between the Mojo and the Enforcers. It was a marathon in terms of wiffle ball game duration. It was an hour-and-a-half long game number 2 here between these two teams. That's hit high and deep over to DeMuro, but DeMuro able to make the grab for out number 3. Enforcers ended up winning that game 2, final score 5-3 in extras. No run score for the Enforcers in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first here in game number 3. 0-0 is the score.
Yeah, but we can't get him any wins. If you're joining us on TikTok, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel to check out our YouTube live stream. You can find the link to our YouTube channel on your bio.
DeMiro leads it off for the Mojo. And that's ripped over to Gradwell at third, and DeMiro just continues to hit the ball hard all over the field. So that's a single for Dominic DeMiro to lead off the bottom of the first. Alex Hatch steps in for the Mojo. Swing and a miss from Hatch. 0-1. Low and in the dirt for ball one. A ball and a strike here to Hatch. 0-0 ball game here early in game number 3. Winner of this game takes the series. Series is tied a game apiece. 1-2 is the count to Hatch. And
what was that?
That was not even a wiffle ball. I don't even know what that was. Looks like Jake Oliver is trying to play some tricks on Alex Hatch. I think he threw a flower. Ball and a strike, and Hatch holds off there for ball 2. 2-2 the count. That was an interesting move from Jake Oliver.
Never seen a flower before.
Is that a flower? That
something.
looks like a flower. Yeah. Hits the zone, strike 3. Alex Hatch strikes out looking.
If I didn't walk, I'm going to give up a home run.
It's the first out here in the bottom of the first. Jason Shavenko will step in for the Mojo.
I'll go behind her.
Is that a flower? What is that? Oh, okay.
Don't hit 45 with it.
Dude, that went pretty far for a flower.
I told him to aim at the roof.
Oh.
One on and one away for Shavenko as he looks at ball 1. Nicks the zone for strike 1. What a pitch there from Oliver. Able to get that one to connect on the zone. A ball and a strike, now the count. Popped up into the air. Oliver dives and is not able to get there in time. And, you know, that's I think that might be one of the first diving plays we've seen from Jake Oliver this year. Normally, last season he had a ton of diving plays, and we just really haven't seen that many this year from Jake Oliver. Fortunately, wasn't able to make the grab on that one. 1-2 here to Shavenko as he swings and misses for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Oliver, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the first. First pitch to DeMiro is in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. 2 away and 1 on here in the bottom of the first. That is high and outside for ball 1. 1-1 here to DeMiro. And if you hadn't joined us earlier, game number 2 of this series was an hour and a half long, which is a long duration. for a wiffle ball game, given we only play 3 innings per game. That game went into extra innings, 5 innings.
Yeah, 1-2.
Game's normally only 40 minutes in wiffle ball. Series is that's ripped past Josh Gradwall over at third. Shavenko heading for 3, and he's gonna get there, and DeMiro in at second on the throw. Runners on second and third now for the Mojo as DeMiro just continues to hit the ball hard here against Jake Oliver. Alex Hatch will step in now for the Mojo. Swing and a miss from Hatch for strike 1. That's just outside for ball 1. Ball past Oliver on the mound. Shavenko scores, and DeMiro will score as well. Good base running there from Dominic DeMiro. Aggressive base running as that ground ball turns into a couple of runs for the Mojo. They now lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Runner on, 2 away. Jason Shavenko steps in for the Mojo. Swing and a miss at the first pitch, strike 1. Hits him on the back for ball 1. A ball and a strike. The count. Just high for ball 2, 2-1. Cal runner on first. Mojo with a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. As that hits the zone for strike 2, evens the count at 2-2. Winner of this game between the Enforcers and the Mojo wins the series. Ground ball past Oliver, and Brock Blehouse able to make the force out at second. 2 runs score for the Mojo in the bottom of the first. They lead it 2-0. Go to the top of the second. Game number 3.
You guys have been laughing a lot up there.
Exactly how it happens. Like you see something happen, you can.
What are you guys laughing about? Feeling you up in the bat, bro. What was the joke? Dude, what was so funny? You were saying how Jake was like. No, you don't have to explain it.
Big Oliver up to bat.
Wait.
It's a ground ball up the third base line. DeMiro's there, slips, falls, and Jake's just going to keep running to second, because why not? So that's an infield double.
You know, I'd say good heads-up base running from Jake Oliver there, but it didn't look like DeMiro was going to get up at all for a second.
I think everyone's just kind of tired at this point.
Yeah, it's been a long series between these two teams, as Josh Gradwall fouls that one back.
Oh my God. Go up. That's like a good mindset. That's a good riser. Preemptively? I know you did it on purpose. I feel like it's bad luck if I'm putting it on and I'm not actually. I mean, you've already prepared it. It's like, what's the worst going to happen? Bro. It's not. It's not safe. I think it's on backwards. No, you got to just shove it on. Oh, this is the backwards. Feeling confident about this at bat.
Foul back.
Feeling really confident about this at bat.
Full count now to Josh Gradwall. The Enforcers have a runner on at second. 3-2 the count. Mojo with a 2-0 lead here in game number 3.
Oh yeah. So this is character development for my I'm like the shitty wiffle ball player. Yeah. You're like the guy that's not very good at wiffle ball. We let him play. Oh!
Rips that off the tree, and Josh Gradwall just continues to have crazy hits that are foul.
Just got to straighten those out.
Full count to Gradwall. In the dirt for ball 4. A walk. Enforcers with runners on first and second. Nobody out. Chase Winkler will step in.
Thanks, man.
First pitch here to Winkler is outside, ball 1. Great pitch there from Shavenko. Hits the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Starting to get the feel of things, it seems.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes, for some it takes, a little bit of time to make the adjustment to pitching, and some guys can just step in and just do it immediately.
Exactly. Some are born to do it.
3-1 here to Winkler. And that's fouled back. It's Alex Harden up here in the booth. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make the play. 3-2. Low and in the dirt for ball 4 will load up the bases for the Enforcers. And Brock Playhouse decides to wear the Wiffle King helmet up to the plate. He's calling his shot, saying he said, I'm going to hit a grand slam up here at the plate, and this will either be the greatest called shot in AWA history or the most embarrassing out of all time. Fouls that one back. 0-1 here to Brock Playhouse. Low for ball 1. Ball and a strike. Swing and a miss there from Brock Playhouse. And unfortunately for Brock Playhouse, he has just struggled at the plate this season.
Is his head really that big?
Ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and it's confirmed that is going to be the most embarrassing strikeout in the AWA. Brock Playhouse wearing the Dinger King helmet up to plate at that at-bat. Unfortunately, was not able to hit a dinger. He strikes out and throws his bat in frustration. 1 away in the inning for the Enforcers. Bases juiced for Jake Oliver.
1 out. Oh.
Just a tad outside there to Oliver. 1-0. That's fouled off. Strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. One on the way is just a tad high for ball 2. Swing and a miss there from Oliver. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2, bases loaded, only 1 out. As that hits Oliver for ball 3, full count. Full count here to Jake Oliver, as that is outside for ball 4. Walks in a run for the Enforcers. The Enforcers get on the board here. 2-1 is the score.
Congratulations. Great.
the lights have come on here at AWA Field. We don't normally have to use them in the months of May, June, and July, given it stays pretty light for a long period of time here in Washington, which is one of the best parts about the summer. But it's been a marathon here between these two teams. It's getting a little dark. No pitch there, as it was 64 miles per hour on the gun, too fast. 0-1. The count is, that is ripped into center field. Brock Playhouse is going to score. Chase Winkler, that misses him, and he will score. It's out of play.
That's out of play. If you were a third, as it went out of play, so you get home. So that run will score. That's 3 runs to score, and then Josh gets second.
That's kind of crazy. You did not give me a choice.
Jake Oliver is awarded home as that throw from DeMiro went out of play. 3-run score on the play for the Enforcers. The Enforcers now lead it 4-2 here in the top of the second. Chase Winkler up to the plate as that is ground ball right back to Shvenko. He throws to first. It's not Alex Hatch couldn't make the grab, and Josh Gradwell comes all the way around to score from second. And the Enforcers get another run up on the board. It's now 5-2. Brock Playhouse will step in with 1 out and 1 on. Enforcers have scored 5 runs in the inning. 1 more and they would reach the run limit for the inning. 2-0 is the count here to Brock Playhouse. Ground ball right back to Shvenko on the mound. He throws and is able to hit Brock Playhouse for out number 2.
2 outs.
2 outs.
Chase Winkler
Great fielding by the pitchers in this game.
runs to third as Winkler thought there was only
I think Dom actually
there was
like
3 outs. 2 away. Runner on at third. Jake Oliver to the plate. So that's foul back for strike 1, 0-1.
We got a good bounce on that one.
Low and in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Oliver. Hits the zone, strike 2. Great pitch there from Shvenko. Ripped high and deep. That's got a chance, and that's off the wall. Winkler's going to score easily. And we've reached the run limit, and Jake Oliver's not going to be able to score. We've reached the run limit here in the top of the second.
What's going on? Run limit. So?
We reached the run limit.
It has to be a home run.
8:45. Let's get this going.
We've reached the run limit here in the top of the second. We'll give Jake Oliver a double on that play, an RBI double for Jake Oliver, and the Enforcers now lead at 6-2. The inning ends now that we've reached the 6-run run limit here in the second. We go to the bottom of the second inning here. Enforcers lead it 6-2.
Jake, I want to strike out with the back. Now, backlift, damn it. Yeah, no, I'm done with my last one I did was right there.
If you're joining us on TikTok, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel. You can find the link to our YouTube channel in the bio.
Dominic DeMiro leads it off in the bottom of the second inning. Ground ball is foul down the third base side, 0-1. One here to DeMiro. That is high for ball 1. 1-on-1 the count here to DeMuro. A swing and a miss for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes, the count. Just a tad outside for ball 2. 2-2 now to DeMuro. Nobody on. No outs. Enforcers up by 4 runs here in the bottom of the second. Just outside. Ball 3, full count now to DeMuro. Ripped over to Brock Blehaus at first, and Brock Blehaus is able to make the grab. Blehaus very thankful he was able to make the grab there for out number 1. 1 away for Alex Hatch, nobody on. Just outside for ball 1, 1-0. Ground ball right to Jake Oliver. He fields it cleanly and flips it over to Brock Blehaus at first, who was screaming for the ball. Jake Oliver was going to take it himself, but Brock really wanted to be involved in that play. 2 outs. Now on the bottom of the second, Jason Shavenko to the plate for the Mojo. First pitch hits the zone, a nasty pitch from Oliver. 0-1. Swing and a miss on the slow changeup, and it's now 0-2 the count. Oh, 2 here to Shavenko. Ground ball over to Josh Gradwell at third base. He throws to first. It's not going to be on target with Brock Blehaus at first. And Shavenko is safe over at first. A runner on and 2 outs. Back to the top of the order for the Mojo. Dominic DeMuro is going to step in. Ripped high and deep and out of here. Dominic DeMuro, a 2-run home run. And the Mojo are now just within a few runs to the Enforcers. It's 6-4. Enforcers still lead it, but DeMuro going opposite field for the 2-run home run. Ripped foul. First base side. 1-1 is the count here to Alex Hatch. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss from Hatch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 on the way to Hatch. Is just a tad inside for ball 2. 2-2. Count to Hatch. Enforcers trying to get out of this bottom of the second inning. Swing and a miss. Down goes Alex Hatch for the final out in the bottom of the second. But the Mojo score 2 runs in the bottom of the second. A Dominic DeMiro 2-run home run. We go to the final inning here of game number 3. Enforcers lead it 6-4.
Any tips really on how to hit a ball with swing it. Who's up?
Josh Gradwell.
There we go, quick inning. Oh, absolutely. You know me, I'm taking 6. Either 6 home runs in a row or 3 strikeouts. Royce. 6 in a row. Oh, wait, it's the third is off. No, you got everybody.
Can't hit 6 in a row. Josh doesn't get us going.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
They are.
He's in my head! Yeah, drive ball! Oh! Man, it sucks being small.
Who's up after Josh?
You know. Yep.
Josh Gradwall pops out to Alex Hatch over there at first. 1 away for the Enforcers in the top of the third. Swing and a miss there from Chase Winkler. 0-1 the count. That is low for ball 1. A ball and a strike here to
I think
Winkler.
I gotta get a hit first before. Well, yeah. I'm telling you, you throw me nothing. Really? Why are you doing that? Because it looks like the slow pitch that everybody's saying that. You can't throw, that's right. Really? That really?
I think Josh should come in out of the gate to close the game.
Yeah.
And I'll play on the
Popped up into the air. Shavenko right underneath it. He makes the grab for out number 2. 2 away. Now in the top of the third.
Did you just hit? Okay, get in the bullpen now. So mentally prepared.
But you don't. Hey. What? I'm blocked. Ball. Hey, big dog, come on, big dog. Oh, that's great. That was great hack. Great hack. I'm at that. Love it. Oh, that's great hack too. Hey, no. God damn. You did not. Are you serious?
Don't worry, they're not laughing at you.
I'm worried.
That was a completely response that I was saying.
Oh, I do not need that.
Count is even here to Brock Playhouse as that is spiked into the dirt for ball 3. Full count now to Playhouse.
Dude, what do you think? Do that. You think you need to worry about telling me to swing? Yeah, I do.
Full count here to Brock Playhouse. Pitch on the way is ripped high and deep, but DeMiro is underneath it to make the grab for out number 3. No run score for the Enforcers in the top of the third, but they still lead it 6-4. We go to the bottom of the third here in the final inning of game 3. Winner takes the series. About to get the final inning of the bottom of the third started here in game number 3. Winner of this game 3 wins the series. And if you were just watching there, the Enforcers had an interesting warm-up heading into the bottom of the third. They were all trying to throw as fast as they possibly could. We got the music going on here, so it might be a little difficult to hear me, but we're looking to get this final inning done here momentarily between the Mojo and the Enforcers. We will be back shortly. And Jason Shavenko leads it off here for the Mojo in the bottom of the third as he looks at ball number 1. Slider is a no pitch, 61 miles per hour on the gun. 1-0 remains the count as Shavenko swings and misses. Unfortunately, it's another speed check there. 1-0 still remains the count. Hits the zone, strike 1 here to Shavenko, 1-1. Shavenko does well to hold off there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Shavenko fouls that one off. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And that is low and outside. Full count now to Shavenko. hits the zone, strike 3. Jason Shavenko strikes out looking. And there's now 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd. Dominic DeMiro is going to step in for the Mojo. Slider to Dominic DeMiro misses high, 1-0. Knuckleball outside, 2 balls, no strikes here to DeMiro. Fouls that one back, 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Two and 1 on the way, hits the zone. What a great pitch there from Gradwall.
Love the knuckleball.
Able to connect. Swing and a miss, and DeMiro strikes out swinging. Great pitch there from Gradwall. There's now 2 away in the bottom of the 3rd, and the Enforcers are just an out away from winning this Game 3 and taking the series. Alex Hatch will step in now for the Mojo. Pitch from Gradwall is high for ball 1, 1-0. And that is inside, hits Hatch for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes as the 3rd pitch hits Hatch as well. And it's now 3-0. And that is inside, misses. Hatch gets on with a walk. Runner on first for the Mojo. Mojo down to their final out, but this is interesting now as Shavenko steps in. He represents the tying run for the Mojo. See if Gradwall can close it out here and clinch this series win for the Enforcers. It would be back-to-back series wins for the Enforcers after starting the season off 0-6. Swing and a miss there from Shavenko. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Ground ball right back to Gradwall. He fields it cleanly, throws to first. Brock Playhouse makes the grab, and that is going to do it. The Enforcers take game number 3, final score 6-4, and this was a marathon between the Enforcers and the Mojo. Enforcers take the series 2-1, and that's going to do it for us here tonight on a rare Thursday night wiffle ball matchup between the Enforcers and the Mojo. Enforcers win it 2-1. Thank you everybody for joining us here tonight. We will be back Monday evening for some more regular season AWA wiffle ball. We will see everybody on Monday. Thank you for joining.
This? I got him.